Alright, y'all. We're live again. We're gonna be talking about this typhoon that's in the ocean. Um, you want to share your screen, LT? Okay, we're live again. We're live again. LT, do you want to share your screen?
Sure. I'm just kind of looking in another chat, real quick. Share.
Yeah. Alright. While LT's doing that, let me address something that happened in the previous stream. Melissa became very irritated when I told her that I didn't really care much for her opinion and I didn't care what she had to say. She ultimately ended the call, and um, I got to tell Melissa I'm sorry, and I really apologize. I also got to apologize to Don because when I was talking to Melissa, I blew Don off, and I really need to apologize to him as well. So I'm making a lot of bad judgment calls, and I really apologize. But I hope that they both understand that I'm under a lot of pressure right now to perform, and performing is what I value more than anything. Maybe that's not right or ethically right, but that's where I'm at right now mentally. And I do apologize to Melissa because what I want to tell you more than anything is that I understand what Melissa brings to the table. She helps me provide content that I couldn't do it without her, and that I really, really need her, and I really, really value her. So, and I value Don as the same level. I shouldn't have blown him off just because I had someone else to help me produce content with. So I really apologize to Don as well. So I love both of y'all very much. Don's my best friend, and Melissa, you've really been there. You've come in clutch in the past few 24 hours, and I really do appreciate it, and I value you tremendously. And I hope that you remain to be part of my team because you're a strong member of my team, and I really appreciate what you bring to the table. So that's that. I hope that satisfies that situation. Anyways, LT, what's going on, man?
Nothing much. Um, there is evidence. I'm not even kidding. To support possibly 200 miles an hour for Simlico. I am not even kidding with you. I have it as 185, 881. And that's because it looks like better than Melissa, and they're literally calling it a one. This is for peak, by the way. They're literally they're literally calling it like officially 185, um 185 a 90 millibars. Oh
Welcome,
hi,
welcome back,
Hi.
Melissa.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys too.
no problem. Okay, so yeah, as you can see here, um yeah. Uh, so yeah, we could possibly have evidence of 200. It is doing an hour replacement cycle, so it is not gonna intensify anymore. It may
Well,
look strong, but as soon as there's another eye wall, it's done. We also have radar imagery, which is nice. Which could I thought I was gonna thought we would see a lot of it in like 11 o'clock, but I guess not. Um, I would say maybe at like 2 a.m., maybe 3 or 4 a.m. We should see all of it. Um, and by maybe 6 a.m. the latest, I think the eyewall replacement cycle should be done. It's gonna have a massive eye. Also, you see like there's some spots right here, here, here. Those are prone to some water spouts. This is a glitch, don't worry. I really hope the radar could stay. The eye is like right around here. Or like, is it in front of me? Yeah, it's literally in front of me. Yeah, the eye is like right here. Like in this big area. And it's heading to, I keep forgetting the name of this island, but it's headed there. It's been shifting here, here, here. I could see a landfall in these areas. Outermost, these areas. So this one is, yeah, so this is the immediate threat. This one's the extended threat. This one's the possible threat. And this is if it gets lucky and just leans right towards, which will be a nightmare scenario. I'd rather do it, I'd rather do like this, but we all know that it's going to do that or that. Any thoughts, Kent?
I love your hypotheticals. You know that.
Yeah, I've done a lot of them. Yeah, I know everyone does. The thing that had trouble most was with Melissa, I believe. I know I had trouble on one of the hypotheticals they did. I think my best one was Barrel, my opinion. Oh no, my best one was actually what's the name of that one? Aaron. Aaron, that was the
I was gonna
one.
say Aaron was my first. That was the best storm to cover. It was so much fun covering that storm because it kept going outside the cone.
Which made it more intriguing.
Yeah, it was very fun to cover Aaron.
Yeah.
It was very intense.
Actually, I think this is possibly going to be the outer eye wall. This is going to possibly be the outer eye wall. I was going to go like, yeah, just looping. eye is starting to degrade even more. Doesn't have a lot of time left. About to erode completely. Just gonna barely scratch Saipan, which could be a threat. If it gets its eye like as soon as like tomorrow, I can't imagine what it would be like. Note the eye size is projected to be, including this Sinopalo um and the and Saipan in it. Potentially even Guam. This size is gonna be pretty massive compared to the average size. Um that's this is a few hours ago. So don't take this literally. But there yeah. Weakening flag is on. It's doing a IWOL replacement cycle, which means that there's two IWOL replacement cycle types, a classic and a merger. Merger, if you were there for Melissa, you'll know exactly what a merger is. And a classic means that there's an outer eye wall that is forming and it's going to choke off the inner eye wall to make a larger eye, which usually takes more time to get itself together because it's going to expand the wind field. Look at Irma for a example, or Wilma, and even better cases, Winnie, if you could get a microwave for that, but I don't think you can because it was in the 90s. But yeah, Wilma is a good one to look at. Irma as well. For mergers, it just means that the eye will the outer eye wall, the EWRC classic doesn't fully develop, or the outer eye is substantially weaker than the inner, and it merges with the inner core.
Did somebody just join?
No, left. They left.
Okay.
Anyway, the yeah in merger is basically, yes, it connects to the core of the system and actually makes it stronger and more sustainable, which is exactly why Melissa did Melissa things. Yeah. It's either this is potentially good. No, this is more likely the core. Yeah, it's supposed to just get killed. There's wind shear. It's doing an hour replacement cycle. It is not doing that good. Yeah. Here's the potential outer eye wall. You can see how big it is. It could do a uh yeah, it could do a errand where it makes such a big eye wall that it just kind of kills the storm. Or it doesn't. You use a dark green. This could be the outer eye wall. It's a massive eye. This will be the eye if I'm correct. No larger storms don't have that much of a prone to an eye wall replacement cycle as smaller storms do. Smaller storms and larger storms both have their pros and cons.
One,
Smaller storms,
smaller storms rapidly intensify quicker.
yes, smaller storms do rapidly intensify quicker, unless you're you know uh Wilma, because Wilma was a large storm which EI'd. Yeah, unless you're Wilma, you're not intensifying that quick. um but the gradient is not that tight, I believe. The pressure gradient, which is pretty important for intensity. Um the con for smaller storms is that it's prone to eye wall replacement cycle. It's um it's prone to wind shear. It's prone to dry air unless it can filter it out. Um or they're in a highly rich moisture rich environment. Um yeah. That's Oh yeah, some other pros are that it doesn't take a lot of this is from the storm's perspective. It doesn't take a lot of OHC unless it just sits there. Melissa. Um which is like it's oceanic heat content. It's the like when we talked about upwelling, that is what it upwells. If there's high OHC, that's what we say. That means there's a lot of warmth underneath. Um, and um, and for larger storms, it's very prone to gathering a lot of OHC to sustain itself. And that's the thing about larger storms. Larger storms are easier to spread destruction. Like for example, when Irma was on its last leg, about to hit Florida as a 4 or 3, it was the size of the state. Same thing as Wilma, same thing as Ian, same and the wind field from and also the wind field from Milton, and as well as Helene, was a big one. Uh, Also the storm itself, unless it just somehow rapidly intensifies, or explodes, Wilma, um, doesn't tend to weaken a lot because it has a pretty tight. Hold on, let me fact check this. Do larger Tight, tropical systems have a tighter pressure gradient. I'm still new to this, so
You're doing a great job, man.
not necessarily. While a tight pressure gradient, a rapid change in pressure over a short distance, is essential for strong winds. Its intensity measured by low central pressure and high wind speeds, rather than its physical size that directly relates to the tightness gradient. That it take yeah, yeah, I think it really depends on the yeah. Oh, smaller storms have a higher pressure gradient. I thought it was the larger storms. Yeah. So yeah, it's actually the opposite. um, yeah. So that means that the size of the that it really depends on the size. Um, Also, larger storms don't necessarily have an hour replacement cycle unless it wants to be a Winnie of 97. Then because Winnie had the largest eye on record. Basically, Winnie's eye could theoretically have the entirety of the Philippine Islands in there. Like if when you went over the Philippines, the entire island will see a stadium effect. You could even maybe fit in the two Koreas, and maybe Taiwan. A uh outside China. If you're watching this from China and believe that Taiwan should be a part of, I'm not should be a part of China, then yeah. Um, I'm with both sides. Okay, I'm not favoring one side. China, one China policy, or I could do two China policy. But that's not the point. The point is, I'm just telling you about these systems and how size does matter with these storms. Some cons is that it has a tendency to be affected by land so many miles away from the core, depending on how large the system is. Um, like for example, it a smaller storm could, like for example, what's a small storm? Uh, I would say Aaron. Aaron uh did affect land. The actual center didn't affect land. It was getting more elliptical. as you can see here, let's see here. Uh, Aaron, don't worry about this. You could see the ellipticalness of the eye right here, rather than being a complete circle CDO. Um, and by the way, this
You
is
put
an
a lot of fucking
example
time.
of a eye.
You put a lot of time in doing all these diagrams. It's insane.
Yeah, by the way, this is an example of an eyewall replacement cycle. You can even see it on visible. But obviously, Humberto didn't have time to. Yeah. Obviously, this was Melissa. Didn't even do a single eyewall replacement cycle. Literally. Trying to find the right one. When it looked like it was about to, like, for example, like right here, it looked like it was about to do an eyewall replacement cycle. It just straight up just did a merger. Yeah. And you can also see our replacement cycles on radar. Like the eye structure would look like this if Melissa did our replacement cycle. But instead you could see the spiral. Like for example here. Along with the center. That's a definite EWRC merger. All right, back to cyclonic WX.
Screen's black. Screen's black. Okay, we got something going on.
You all right?
Yeah, I said the screen's black. The screen's black, but then you popped back up.
By the way, how the hell are you two still alive? Especially you, Vanuatu. Uh, Vanu. Why are you still alive? Aren't you extratropical? Yeah, you should be gone. Yeah. You're dead. I don't know why it's still showing on Cyclonic WX. But I don't know if anyone heard. I believe I didn't say this on stream. Um Melissa, no, Why did I say Melissa?
Probably, probably because my friend's Melissa.
Maybe.
It might be getting in your head.
And there we go. They even start the track.
LT, are you going to school to be a meteorologist?
Yeah, unfortunately, my school doesn't have a meteorology degree. Um, unfortunately,
That is what you really want to do there, right?
yeah.
Well, don't you think you should find a school that does have one?
This is the closest one to my house.
You would think Fort Lauderdale would have a school for meteorology with the way hurricanes
That's what I was saying.
the way hurricanes affect Fort Lauderdale. Come on, that would be like not being able to find a school about earthquakes in California.
For real.
Yeah, Fort Lauderdale should definitely have a college that gives you options for meteorology. That's crazy. You should start your own YouTube channel, man.
Okay. Maybe, but eh,
I guess you don't want to do the work. It's a lot of work. Is that what you're thinking?
yeah.
That's understandable. That's understandable.
No, no, not wind speed. Um, Wikipedia. Super Typhoon 2026. By the way, this is pretty cool.
Arr, there's the cone.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, there we go. Come on, please. Why can't? Can you take me off?
Yeah, hold on. Let me. Okay, go ahead. Hey,
Hmm?
I don't know how much more there is to talk about. you seem to have covered it all, and there's no one to really bounce off of. I think we should end it because there's no one to really bounce our ideas off of. But it's up to you. What you thinking, LT? What you thinking?
Wow, so I could. Wow, I can't believe that Syndicator doesn't even have its own article yet.
Too bad Pat didn't join us tonight, ain't it?
Oh, I thought you were gonna ping him.
What? I did.
I thought you were gonna ping.
I didn't. I did.
Guess I don't see it.
I invited him to the live stream. I sent him an invite.
Yeah. I'll ping him.
Okay. Go ahead, give it a shot.
Just trying to get.
All right, LT. I think I'm gonna bounce it. Don't look like he's coming. Hmm.
There's always a chance.
There's always a chance. You're
Don't
right.
don't count out anything.
Maybe tomorrow night. Maybe
Or
tomorrow
you
night.
could take me on. You could take me on. You could put me back on.
Okay, I will. Um, let's see.
Am I back on?
Not yet.
Oh.
It's not even showing you sharing the screen. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
What?
Let me see what.
All this is gonna go like that. You could really see on this frame how small the eye is. It's maybe like 9 miles, which is tiny. It's actually a little smaller than the average size. I still like. I is like right here. To go like that. Eventually, the eye could be like this big. It's gonna be good to see the eye. Anyway, ah, flash flooding. Great. Let's look here. Daily 3 hour. Now, no, it's gonna be daily. Or is it accumulation array?
Oh, God.
No. Total storm? Yeah, definitely total storm. Let's see how much rain has fallen on. Huh, interesting. Hmm. Okay. Okay, not that much has fallen. Honestly, why does it look pretty cool? It kind of looks like a rainbow. But anyway, um, 16 hours old.
All right, LT, I'm definitely gonna end the stream. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay.
See ya.
See you.